I'm Cedric Bardy, an associate professor at Samri and Flinders University in South Australia. My research team is working to discover ways to stop the progression of Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a complex disease that affects body movement, but the problem starts in the brain. And our research aims to understand why and how these problems start and happen. And ultimately, our goal is to help people with Parkinson's disease feel better and move more easily. So if I were to explain what we do to my daughter or a 5-year-old, I would tell her that we like detectives trying to solve a puzzle. And the missing part of this puzzle is in the brain of people with Parkinson. Now, we can't just open up people's skulls to find this missing piece of the puzzle. So for the last 10 years, in collaboration with other researchers all over the world, we have worked to find ways to reverse engineer the human brain in a petri dish. So now we can take skin cells from someone with Parkinson and someone without Parkinson, reprogram them into stem cells, and then from these stem cells, we can generate any kind of tissue we're interested in, and in this case, specifically brain tissue. So we end up with live human brain tissue from someone with Parkinson and healthy donors, and we can compare them in a petri dish. Now, the progress we've made in this field is mind-blowing and very exciting. And we're getting to the point where we can visualize these brain problems causing Parkinson's in these patient cells growing in the petri dish. And the beauty is that it can not only help us understand this complex disease, but it also gives us the opportunity to safely test new ideas and drugs on the patient brain avatars without putting anyone at risk. So this new kind of research let us test ideas outside the box. For example, right now, we're exploring the potential therapeutic values of specific venoms found in spiders and snakes and all kinds of venomous species that you can find in Australia. And we can only do that with this kind of model. The goal for us is translation, but we need to get it right. And we are doing everything we can to validate our ideas first in patient brain avatars derived from stem cells before moving to the clinical trials. So the next step is definitely moving to clinical trials, but we need to get it right first preclinically. In the next 10 years, I hope obviously we can find treatment to stop Parkinson's disease progression. But the truth is that we may already have. And the challenge is how to make sure we translate these discoveries to clinical use. And I believe our research is about to transform how we do clinical trials. Right now, it is still very hard to predict which patients will respond to a drug and those who won't. This is a massive problem because if a medication only works on some patients, but not the majority, the trial will most likely be deemed unsuccessful and be put aside. So suppose we better understand the drug mechanism on different individuals. In that case, we may be able to early give the drug to a patient that have the highest chance to benefit from it. That makes sense, and I think that'd be really good. But it's a complicated problem, and the best way to solve this, in my opinion, will be to integrate a brain avatar model alongside clinical trials. In other words, we need clinical trial 2.0 that integrates with basic research and brain avatar models. In the next few years, I'm confident to predict that we will see this creative approach becoming more and more common practice, and I'm really excited to be part of it. Obviously, the more resources we have, the faster we can move, and having Shake It Up in a corner helping us finding these resources while we, scientists, can focus on the research is tremendous and super, super important. But for me, it's not just about the funding that helps us moving towards this goal. It's also the collaboration we're building with Shake It Up's team and partners. The collaboration with Shake It Up boosts our motivation and really helps us thinking outside the box and thinking bigger and bigger.